So I stumbled upon that tweet that you guys saw in the thumbnail, and it got me thinking about Poketubers that I don't like. Now, rather than, mention the good old familiar names, talk about pretty much MJTV and Velisify for the 100th time, I'm gonna talk about what makes a bad Poketuber, more like a theory or like a concept type of thing. So, let's keep in mind that this is my opinion, so before you go jumping down below, screaming some shit about how I hate all Poketubers and the usual hate comments, let's just jump right into this. So, here's my first thing. A disingenuous personality / intentions. So, with this whole idea of them being disingenuous, there's a phrase I like to bring up often, and it's called talking Disney. And once again, that doesn't mean no curse words. Now, of course, they don't curse on that platform, but I remember seeing a comment that said, just because he doesn't curse doesn't mean his personality is fake. And I absolutely agree with that. There are definitely some people who can get away with not cursing, but still be entertaining. Rather, what I'm referring to is that these people display a persona of being extremely positive, energetic, or kid-friendly. It's to the point where it's so much that it's unnatural, where most people can clearly see past that type of shit. Once again, some people may think it is real in their mannerisms, which for the most part are obsessive, but it is actually fake. Let me give you an example of someone who actually, is kid-friendly in nature, but doesn't curse and isn't too extra with it. And that would be the one and only Shady Penguin. Now, I'm sure 90% of my viewers watching know who this guy is. He's pretty much an OG Poketuber. And the way he does it, the way he talks, the way he speaks, the way he carries himself out, it is natural. You can tell it is a natural feel to him. Once again, he's not cursing and making all these inappropriate references, but he still finds a way to be this entertaining person. And I'm gonna be honest, it's really hard to explain off the top of the dome, but if you just watch it and compare it to someone like not Velisify, MJTV or A-Drive, you will notice the sizable difference between the way they talk. Now, the second part, their intentions. Now, this one is definitely directed at a certain Poketuber, but we're not gonna name names here. But when a lot of Poketubers, one in specific, when they go to expose someone, usually they say this line: I'm doing it because it's right, not because I'm trying to make ad revenue. Yet they have 16 mid-rolls within the first 5 minutes of the fucking video. Now, you and I both know why they're doing it, but it's this whole idea of why they're doing it. Now, I'll give another less extreme example. Reactions in the Poketubing community, especially to the same common type of videos. A lot of them are gonna say, oh, I just wanted to react to this video. No, do that shit on your own time. Let's be real. It is a popular video, and you know it will get you 100,000 views. The thing is, I kind of want to take this a step further and build on this. I know that a lot of people would feel like talking about, them being very upfront with these intentions will present them as these terrible people who are money hungry. Honestly, though, just own it. Just be true, and you're good. Once again, though, that is my perspective, and as we all know, different demographics react in different ways to things. Now, breaking down the Poketuber demographic is a complete animal in itself. So I'm just gonna move on to another thing that I feel that makes a bad Poketuber. Now, this could also apply to being a bad person. But a bad Poketuber, honestly, specifically, lack of ethics. And once again, ethics, I'd say it has a bunch of different definitions, but in this context, here's how I'm gonna define ethics. I see it as loyalty, and I think it goes both ways, where, you know, you got your people who don't, you know, they'll ditch you when you're in a bad spot in terms of how people see you, but they'll also ditch you if you're not pulling the statistics. Now, this makes a truly, you know, bad Poketuber in my opinion, and I could say bad YouTuber in general, but I'm gonna keep it relative to Poketubing. So here's the final thing. Actually, it's not really a point, but I'm sure this big question has arisen. So why am I not mentioning like specific types of content that I don't like, or, you know, different editings or like bad thumbnails? Once again, I'm gonna keep it real. All that shit is subjective, and I think Poketuber reviews kind of exemplifies that. How many times have I said I don't like a certain Poketuber, and there's a good amount of people who agree with me, but on the opposite spectrum, there are also people who like that content. Once again, a bad thumbnail to me may be a fantastic thumbnail to someone else. So once again, I guess the whole point of this video is, when it comes to what a bad Poketuber is and what makes a bad Poketuber, it's not rooted in the content, but rather the person. And I think this kind of explains why I don't like a bunch of these fakish Poketubers, cause it's not the ideas that they're carrying out that irks me. Rather, it's the person behind them and their intentions. For example, with reaction videos, it's not the fact that they're reacting to something. It's in the manner they're doing it and their motivation as to why. So, just to reiterate the, you know, main points, a bad Poketuber is someone who is disingenuous and just comes across as a fake person, not only in their personality, but in what they set out to do, their goals. And couple that with bad ethics, and in my opinion, you just don't have a good Poketuber. And it doesn't really matter about the content that they make. Well, yes, that is obviously important to whether you like them or not. Rather, the person behind them and the decisions that go into making them is so much more important. So this is a little bit of a preachy rant, and I apologize if you didn't like this format. But regardless, if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe, watch some more videos, but above all else, have a good day.